so that individuals can get in tune with themselves and understand exactly what it takes to get to the higher level that they wish to achieve, rather than the pipe dream, or rather than the fairy tale or the myth that has to be compressed and brought back together again so one can understand it, and it can be understood from multiple levels. And it's really for a philosopher to sit and ponder all day, some old man without a life anymore because his whole life was built inside of his mind, so he didn't live externally. This is what you were dealing with the old days anyway, because there wasn't all this stuff that you actually see now to turn the mankind and woman into something of external being. And we're not saying that's a negative thing. There's an ebb and flow, there's an attraction and reaction, there's a implosion, explosion. There's this type of behavior going on even as the heart, you see, contracts and reacts. However, the species itself and its intellect, its evolutionary honor, is what determines whether or not they understand how to maneuver that pendulum. Meaning, do you understand how to guide the ship rather than keeping the ship going from one direction or another, or as I call it, the roller coaster? Do you understand how to stay actually balanced? And that's one of the keys really to this dimension, and how to manipulate this dimension is understanding that emotion is not a negative thing. However, if it's not controlled, it's very negative for the individual, for the simple fact that emotion controls an individual from a different level. It's a different type of energy, and there's many beings that feed on emotional energy, and that's why there's always a lot of sadness and things that are brought out, but no solution. As I was talking about before, I was saying that if they really wanted to develop a solution, they're more than capable of doing that. When you see movies like Collapse, and you see just the sheer issue that's going on with the oil right now, and how everything is made out of oil, from even the well, you shouldn't be using toothpaste anyway, but from the toothpaste to the toothbrush, from the cars, the tires, every single thing that's out there is made out of this oil, and it's already gone down this office peak. But then the solution is, oh, go out and run into the forest and go and plant a bunch of trees and things. Now, you can do that here in Costa Rica, which I'll be showing a lot more about as the program continues. I'll take people around town and show you where the fruit is. I even show you the lane line work of some of the things that are going on here, and I'm not going to talk about that really right now until we actually have it on film. But this is key, because this is real solutions that are real time, rather than something that just seems like some individual that has some weird pipe dream. This is not that type of story, nor has it ever been. And what was produced for the people is, to me, as when it comes across to me, I scan a lot of things across this computer. We have almost a terabyte full of information of different things that are being reviewed. But that doesn't mean it's actually introduced into the resistance or into the matrix underground, or unless it has some type of tag enclosed with it about that, you know, we don't vouch for what is really in there in its totality, but there's a lot of things that can be learned. Like I said, I've gotten information out of disinformation before. So the thing is that what I really see with the resistance is a way of restoring the quality that was necessary for one that was in the great quest of life, which was about obtaining the what they were calling the Grail, but has something totally different to do. It's the great attainment. It's the actual knowledge and complete knowledge of immortality. It's the understanding that, hey, I'm going to be here, and now is the time, and I don't have to really worry about anything else that is external to me, because everything's inside. That's every story that comes to me, I have to look at and say, okay, do I want to load this program into my mind? Does it suit me for what I need to do? And then most understanding still, in the higher levels of consciousness, there's no thought at all. There's just only emotion and things of this. No, let me correct that. There is sense, thought, which again sometimes is termed emotion. Okay, so sense and thought is going on internally, and then the person is really turned on to themselves, and at that point, that allows one to, when they do react with society, when they finally step into the spotlight, they're actually balanced to where what they're feeding individuals is something very wholesome, because everything a person says is a seed that's planted. And that tree does grow. Like there's a misconception that when you say something to an individual, if it's not good, it doesn't stick with them. No, it does. And then it grows up. And then if it was a good fruit, you can eat from it. But if not, if it's a bad fruit, you still have to eat from it. So individuals need to understand right now that We are here again to highlight a few things that are taking place that are going to cease. There is another faction that has always been present with this planetary system that is humanoid, that is far more advanced than draconian, reptilian, or anything else they can cook up. However, it has been a process that's been going on with the human race where they've been on training wheels. An extreme domestication that's a product of an earlier stage in their, what you would call evolution, but it's really just the growth of the immortal soul and how it continues to layer itself like a tree, which is what the aura is layers of different experiences. And so this is a product of that, and this is also a pivotal point where one understands that the power itself is back within you, and thus the society itself, even as an external node, from an external node, when the individuals internally get in tune with this, then it reflects back into the external society, and that in which always keeps itself in a lower vibration can't stand around it, because that's what it means to be in high vibration. It means to engage. You have the energy that's actually necessary to go and engage, and that is a key. Because what happens is that many people are studying and looking and watching and waiting for other individuals to say something, and as I say all the time, that the discoveries are not in the library, they're out in the field. You spend some time in the library, learn a few things, and then go out in the field. So here's how it works. With esoteric knowledge, you understand some of it, you get in with the people that do understand more about it, and then you keep your growth going by not holding back what you find to be precious, but by giving that to others so that it can continue to spread, thus permeating everything that goes on around not only you, but also other individuals that you may not know, so that way that the energy actually spreads.
I don't believe it. You've come back!
I never left. You finally decided to join the fight.